Me llamo Mariana Lucena, o otra gente me conoce como Mari, y yo soy de Medellín, Colombia, y vine a los Estados Unidos cuando tenía 9 años, y esta es mi historia. The summer between 7th and 8th grade, I started going to the local track, the high school track, and there was a coach there that kind of wanted me to coach me and others to be runners. And I started going down a road that was actually disappointing. I started losing weight quickly and people commented on it. So I kind of started going into this vicious cycle of eating less or not eating several meals throughout the day and running more, exercising more, going to the gym, and I felt good and people commented on it, so it took a hold of me. To me, I was healthy, I was fine, I was very fit and looked thin. That was what girls wanted back then, you know? And I lost more weight, and my pediatrician told my mom I needed hospitalization.
Come on, skinny love, just last the year. Or a little soul we were never here. My, 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 my. Staring at the sink of blood and crushed veneer.
I was not ready to get help, but at that point, my parents were my parents. I was only 15 years old, so they kind of had priority of what they wanted to do with my life. And they put me in Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital for anorexia treatment. And I was put with an NG tube, but it's basically a tube that goes inside my nose and back on my throat and into my stomach to force feed me. Even though the hospitalization did not help immediately, like when I went back home, I didn't immediately all of a sudden start eating everything I needed to. I was still vulnerable. I still had my vices of not eating or trying to go out on long walks. But I knew something had to be done. I knew I needed some sort of passion to help me mentally, to make me revive mentally, make me have something to have confidence in and build my self-esteem. And because I had regained most of my weight, I went to the high school team, but I knew at first I had to clear with my parents. So I told my parents that I wanted to start running, and I told them I knew I was coming off of a vulnerable state, but I needed something, some passion, I needed friends, I needed people other than my family to support me, because during the period of anorexia, I lost all my social friends because all I was concentrated on was losing weight. So I didn't want to go out because going out meant eating. So I knew I needed some sort of balance in that part of my life. And my parents were okay with it since they saw how recovered I was, but the requirement was that I did not lose weight. And I knew in order to do running, I would have to eat a lot more to compensate for the additional exercise. As a runner, I wanted to look strong, and the only way to do that was to feed myself and not let anorexia take over myself again.
So my love to wreck it all.
The weight I was gaining on was actually beneficial. I was running faster, and I remember seeing a lot of girls on other teams that looked very thin, very, very thin, and it reminded me of when I was anorexic. And some of them were really fast, some of them were not, but obviously like the thought of losing weight to become faster always went through my mind. Like fleeting thoughts that it just went through my mind that, oh, maybe I could lose a couple pounds and become a little bit faster. But I had gone through so much, and I think I was so much smarter that I never wanted to go down that route again. So even though I saw girls who were doing like 16-minute 5Ks and were very thin, and it would lead me to believe that thinner meant faster, I knew I didn't want to go that route because of how well I looked and how much I myself had improved by gaining weight. For the past 6 years that I've been a runner, it's allowed me to learn about my body in ways that I wouldn't otherwise learn if I weren't a runner. And I know a lot of people may think that they're sorry because I was anorexic, or they're sorry because I chose a sport that would make me maybe become anorexic again. But I don't think people should be sorry, because I believe everything happens for a reason. And I think if I wasn't an anorexic and if I wasn't the runner that I am now, I wouldn't be here. I don't ever feel bad after I run or during a run, even if it hurts, even if it's painful and I kind of hate every single second of it. At the end of every run or every race, I feel joy. And I think it's because it is my natural drug. It's cured my mental illness of anorexia, and I will never take that for granted.